Live from Resorts World Bimini, it's a special edition of Bahamas at Sunrise with Carlton Smith, Michelle Malcolm, and Miss World Bahamas, Deandra Bannister.
Good morning and welcome to this special edition of Bahamas at Sunrise. Or is it Bimini at Sunrise? Beautiful sunrise here in Bimini. We're on the western coast of North Bimini. The backdrop is the beautiful Atlantic Ocean. I'm Carlton Smith. Good to be here. Good to be here in Bimini. I'm joined by my co-host, my special guest co-host this morning, Michelle Malcolm, and Miss World Bahamas, Deandra Bannister. Good to have both of you here this morning.
This sort of reminds me of an old song.
Old song?
Back together again.
Oh, the good old days.
The good old days. It's good to be sitting next to you on a set once again,
Is
Carlton.
it the heat of the hot studio that we were accustomed to one time ago?
Well, I tell you what, this is a different kind of heat here in Bimini. I've often said that the sun here is different than the sun in Nassau because you feel it here in Bimini.
Well, we're feeling it and we're having fun. We're not laying low in Bimini, we're having fun in Bimini.
You can't help it. This is such a beautiful place, an incredibly beautiful island, equally beautiful people. And I get the opportunity to live here every day, so don't feel jealous.
And you get the opportunity to welcome them to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise, Bahamas. And we also have an equally beautiful young lady sitting with us today. This is her first time as a TV host, so let's wish her luck. The very beautiful Deandra Bannister, who represented the country at the Miss World pageant in Indonesia for about a month. Did an incredible job. And now here in Bimini with us for Bahamas at Sunrise.
Yes,
Welcome, Deandra.
Thank you. And I know it's early, Bimini, but let your presence be felt. Make some noise. Make some noise. I mean, look at this view. That's reason enough to be applauding, right? Yeah.
Well, we also are very privileged today because we're going to be enjoying some special music by the one and only Stevie S. and the Prime Time Band. Let's hear it for them.
Oh.
Yes, I think I'm going to have the hangover here.
You got to move away?
This morning,
Already?
yes. Yes,
I was just enjoying being a thorn between two roses. Now she has to leave me.
No, I'm going to stay over here. I think I may never leave right here, actually.
You're not gonna
right
leave.
here.
Well, we appreciate you tuning in to Bahamas at Sunrise this morning. Today we'll be talking about Resorts World Bimini, somewhere that you should know about. You should know what they're doing down here and what they plan to do, how they have some expansion plans for this resort as well, Michelle.
But not just for the resort. The plans really impact the entire island of Bimini and all of the people of Bimini. And I guess that means it impacts the Bahamas as well.
And so we're going to be talking about the Bimini businesses. We're going to be talking about the airport expansion. We're going to be talking about Bimini tourism. We have some giveaways. We have some trivia. We have lots for you this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise. And if you're lucky, you're going to see somebody wearing a bathing suit. And I don't think it's going to be
And it
me.
definitely won't be me.
And then we have some cooking. We'll end it all up with some cooking tips. They have some great chefs here at the Bimini, or the Resorts World Bimini. And so before we do all of that, we must go back to our studio now, and we will have our morning news break with Godfrey Burnside and Altaviz Mornings.
This is ZNS News at the start of another weekend. Good Friday morning, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. It's so great to have you join us this morning. Here's what's making news. Labor Minister Shane Gibson acknowledged that the Christie administration is doing all it can to lower the national unemployment numbers. The Department of Statistics released the recent labor force survey this week, which illustrated the unemployment rate is now 16.2%. That's up 3.1% since the survey was last taken in November 2012. Now, Grand Bahama's unemployment rate also went up from 18 to 19.5%. The youth unemployment number also increased to 30.8%. In other news, Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell and the Cuban ambassador to the Bahamas, His Excellency Ernesto Guzman, signed a new agreement this week that will bring a tangible solution to repatriation challenges facing both governments. Now, the agreement comes on the heels of protests by a Miami-based Cuban advocacy group over allegations of abuse at the detention center on Carmichael Road, even though a probe into those allegations continue. Foreign Affairs Minister Mitchell announced the repatriation time for Cuban detainees will now be reduced to a number of weeks. And several outstanding Bahamian youth recently received their just rewards during the National Youth Leadership Awards ceremony at the National Performing Arts Center on Shirley Street. Representatives from numerous youth organizations assembled to watch our young people get the honors they deserve. That's ZNS News at Sunrise. It's time now for a check on the weather at Sunrise with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Alton. Good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at weather sunrise, weak frontal boundary passed through the capital late yesterday afternoon, south of the islands, still causing some cloudiness, showers and thunderstorms, mainly across the central and southeast Bahamas. In your weather day, we're looking at variable cloudiness with a few showers, isolated thunderstorms, mainly across the central and southeast Bahamas, your high temperature reaching 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy skies with a few nighttime showers, isolated thunderstorms, again, mainly over the central and southeast Bahamas, your low temperature going down to 76 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 86 and 78, in Jamaica 89 and 79, in Trinidad 87 and 75, and the Turks and Caicos Islands 92 and 74. Across North America, Atlanta 55 and 30, in Raleigh 53 and 35, in Miami 82 and 68, Dallas, Texas 67 and 47, and Toronto, Canada 46 and 35. For the better look, good looking weekend in store weather-wise, but that old frontal boundary will retreat towards the north come late Sunday into Monday and will cause increasing cloudiness, showers and thunderstorms across the northwest and central Bahamas on Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday with some strong breezy conditions. The temperature daytime will be in the upper 80s, at nighttime in the mid-70s. That puts a wrap on your first look at weather sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you guys.
I've been to Bimini before.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Now, please join me in welcoming our first guest to the set this morning. He is the president of Resorts World Bimini, Mr. Dana Leibovitz. Good morning, Mr. Leibovitz.
Thank you, Carlton. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, you're the man in charge of this project. First of all, tell us, what is Resorts World Bimini about? We've heard of Bimini Bay, now we're hearing about Resorts World Bimini. What are they about?
Well, Resorts World itself is a huge company across the whole world. We have casinos in Asia, properties in Asia, Manila, Malaysia, Singapore. We're also in the UK. We just opened up a property in New York, and now we moved in here to Bimini.
Now, what is Bimini? What is Resorts World Bimini offering this community?
Well, Resorts World Bimini offers a lot of different things. Number one, we want to offer a first-class resort. And for the island of Bimini, we're creating jobs, we're creating opportunity, economic stimulus, a lot of things that I think will help the island of Bimini grow and prosper.
What facilities are currently available at the property?
Currently the property, we have 750 total acres here. We have 6 food and beverage outlets. We have a full casino with table games and slot machines, 250 rental units similar to a hotel, ocean view villas, townhomes, condos, that type of thing. And we're currently building a 325-room, 5-star hotel, which will be open up in early spring, late winter, early spring.
Well, before we talk about the property that you're building, the hotel property that you're building, let's talk about the casino element of this property. You brought that element to this resort. Why a casino? Why a casino in Bimini?
Well, over 10 years ago, the founder of our company visited Bimini, and he fell in love with the island, he fell in love with the people, and he saw the potential here. And it took 10 years for us to finally finalize the deal, probably the longest negotiations in history, but it took 10 years. We're here now, but we saw this as a perfect opportunity for a boutique-style casino. We have larger casinos around the world, much larger than the one here, but we felt that a boutique-style casino, which is currently what we have here now, is what fit the makeup of the island.
Now, the Genting Group was in Grand Bahama at one point in the mid-'80s, and now you're coming to Bimini. It didn't work so well in Grand Bahama. Why do you think it's going to work in Bimini?
Well, as I said earlier, I think technology played a major part. Genting back then was much smaller. They were located mainly in Asia. They had no real presence here in the U.S. or in the Bahamas. And there was no computers, there was no email, there was no faxes. It was difficult to manage a property this far around the world, and I think they recognized that. Nowadays, obviously, with technology, we have a presence here in the U.S. We have a presence in Miami. It's a much easier fit, much easier to manage, and greater ability to succeed.
Now, the hotel that you're building, this 350-room hotel that you're building on this site, what are some of the features of this hotel? It's going to be a 5-star resort.
It's going to be a 5-star resort, 300 rooms, 25 suites, garden villas. It's going to be very modern, but it's going to also fit into the island style here. Great views of the oceans on both sides. It's going to face the bay as well as the ocean. Balconies, jacuzzis, a very elaborate pool system. It's going to be quite spectacular when it's finished.
Now, when Bahamians hear a new hotel, they want to know jobs. What are the job opportunities that you're going to create? How many jobs are you going to create as a result of that?
Currently, the resort employs 500 employees, and once the hotel is finished, we're going to employ an additional 300. So there's going to be plenty of jobs created here in Bimini.
And you have some training programs that you've implemented, and are there going to be ongoing training programs implemented as a result of this expansion?
Absolutely. We brought in world-renowned trainers to train our current staff, and that will continue as we hire new staff. It's an ongoing program. We're also looking to bring employees we have here on site to the U.S. to train in some of our properties in the U.S. That'll be an ongoing process. Training is a core to our business. Obviously, customer service is number one, and that's what we're going to be striving for.
Now, early in our conversation off camera, you alluded to the fact that you're going to transform Bimini from what is now known as a summer destination. It's primarily a yachting destination. This resort is an attempt to transform that concept of tourism on Bimini.
That's absolutely correct. Bimini in the past, because of the Gulf Stream and the rough weather, was actually a summer destination, which is odd for the Caribbean and South Florida market. We believe with the Superfast, which sails out of Miami daily, we're going to create a year-round destination and bring tourism to the island year-round. It's a fantastic opportunity.
Now, income during the slow periods. We're in the middle of a slow period right now. How do you sustain this operation with your current levels of income and your operational costs?
Well, it goes back to the Superfast. The Superfast brings anywhere from 300 to 1,000 people in a day, and we'll be using that, creating packages for the hotels, and not just Resorts World. It'll be packages for all the hotels on the island. We want to bring people to the whole island, not just to Resorts World Bimini.
So the plan of Resorts World Bimini is to integrate this resort into the island of North Bimini, on Bimini in general.
Absolutely, absolutely. We do not want to be a standalone community. We want to be part of Bimini. Bimini is what brings people to the island. It's not necessarily going to be the resort. We fell in love with what Bimini has to offer. We fell in love with the mangroves, with the healing hole, with the mystique, with the magic of Bimini, and that's what we want everybody else to fall in love with too.
What are your current occupancy levels at the hotel?
On average, right now we're at 60% throughout the year.
During the peak season, what do you?
We reach 80% in the peak season and 30 to 40% in the off season.
And so, what is the motivation behind the expansion?
Again, we see the opportunity. In South Florida, not many people know about Bimini. I mean, they've heard of it, they've never been here. We want them to experience Bimini and what all Bimini has to offer.
Any plans to expand to the European market and beyond?
Absolutely. There's always opportunity. We're going to look at the European market, the Asian market. Right now, we're concentrating on the South Florida market. We look at in November, the tourism season really heats up in South Florida, and we expect to capitalize on that and bring people over from South Florida during the peak tourism season there.
And any final comments you want to give to the Bahamian people about Bimini Resorts World and the island of Bimini?
Well, just that we're very excited to be here. We're very excited to be part of the island, and we are excited about working together and making the whole island a success.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leibowitz, Dana Leibowitz.
Thank you very much.
President of Resorts World Bimini. It's good having you on the show this morning. It's good that we know a little more about your resort here in Bimini, and hopefully we wish you every success as you continue to expand. Well, there's been much controversy surrounding the construction of a proposed pier here at Bimini Bay. And well, yesterday we took a boat and traveled out to the area where this pier is going to be constructed. We found out more from Kirk Lofgren, one of the lead environmentalists on this project, on what's going to happen and how it's going to impact the island of Bimini. We're joined by Kirk Lofgren. Kirk, it's good to have you as part of our show today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
And tell us first what is going to happen and how it's going to happen.
The design of this pier really has three main components. Those components include the main pier, which extends 1,000 feet offshore, which you can actually see here in front of us. It includes beyond that an island, which is approximately 250 feet wide by 800 feet long. And beyond that, it includes some dredging work that extends about 2,500 feet beyond that point so that the ship has enough draft to come in and park at the island.
Okay, now what is the relationship between what's going to happen out there and what's going to happen onshore here?
Here at this location is where the pier is going to commence. We're actually standing right here at the intersection between the two.
Okay.
At this point, there's going to be a turnaround for the actual tram structure itself. And that tram will extend and run offshore onto the pier, pick up passengers, and come back here. At this point, those passengers will either travel down into Bimini, downtown, or they'll actually run into the resort.
Now there are a number of environmentalists a part of this project. You're one of the lead environmentalists this project. What is the potential impact on the environment? Why so much concern that you are destroying the coastal area of North Bimini?
I think there was a little bit of a misconception about where this project was actually going to be located. We really looked at 3 different locations, and we determined that this location was the least impactful. What we did is we dove this entire site, we towed our way through here, and we determined that the habitat is very low relief habitat. There's very little coral on this footprint. There's probably less than 5%. And of that 5%, we're going to move that to an artificial reef location.
Okay, so you will have no serious impact on this coastal area of North Bimini.
Right, and that's another issue that we looked at as part of our environmental review. We did an extensive environmental review with the BEST Commission, as was required by the government.
Okay.
And as part of that review, we looked at the potential impact for sand transport along the shoreline. And the design is such that it allows for that movement of sand, so it doesn't trap that sand and prevent or starve the beaches further to the south.
Okay. So the environmental impact assessment has been done? Has it been completed?
It has been completed.
And the government is in possession of that environmental impact assessment?
As is the BEST Commission.
Okay.
There is a team of environmental consultants. There is a local Bahamian firm called Blue Engineering. They're based out of Nassau. Michelle Lakin is the lead engineer with that firm. There's also a Coastal Systems International, and they're the lead engineer. And they did some of the environmental work as well, and then there's our firm, Ocean Consulting.
So there are 3 teams working to ensure that environmentally this project is going to be safe?
That's correct.
Okay, what are these footings here that we can see in the background?
These footings here that you see here is the start of a temporary dock.
Okay.
And that temporary dock is going to be designed to allow for the offloading of materials and the staging of materials during construction of the main pier, which you can see here. Those piles offshore there, if you could see those, demarcate the end of the first section of the work, which is the pier, the 1,000 feet offshore.
Okay, and there will be a connection from the pier to the land?
That's correct.
Okay, so environmentally everything is safe, nobody has anything to worry about. We don't have to worry about environmental degradation. We don't have to worry in the event of hurricanes, this coastal area not being able to prevent major tidal surge.
Right. As part of our work, we're required to do the monitoring, and that monitoring work will be spread out across the 3 environmental firms.
Okay.
And we're going to be required to monitor turbidity to make sure that the water clarity stays good. We're going to be required to relocate all of the coral. The 5% that we did see is going to be relocated to an artificial reef that we're going to create.
Okay.
And then we're also going to be monitoring the profiles along the beach to be sure that this shoreline doesn't change in terms of its nature, its function, its shape, etc.
Well, after that bit of information, you can now make an informed decision about the impact this proposed jetty will have on the environment and the island of Bimini. When we come back, we'll talk about what's in store for the Bimini Airport. We'll let you know what they plan to do to make it one of the top airports in the Family Islands. Stevie S. will take us to a commercial break.
I'm free to live my life, yeah. Free to be me, yeah. The way I wanna be. Doing the things that I wanna do. Yes, I'm living my life. Hey, BAF for life. Yes, I'm living my life. Hey, BAF for life. For life, BAF has got you covered.
At Bahamas Air, we live and breathe customer service. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We work hard to make your trip an enjoyable one, from easy bookings to soft landings. Come fly with us and experience the best pilots, the best equipment, and the best customer service from your family. Bahamas Air. We don't just fly here, we live here.
We're continuing our discussions on developments and expansion plans for the island of Bimini outside of Resorts World Bimini, and we're going to talk a little about the Bimini Airport now. We're joined by the president of RAV Bahamas, Rafael Reyes. That's my Spanish for the day. Rafael, good to have you here this morning.
It's a pleasure to be here. I wish I can roll my R's as well as you do. Thank you.
That's my Spanish lesson. Let's talk a little about the Bimini Airport expansion plans. What do you plan to do at the airport?
Okay, well, we're really excited about the Bimini Airport expansion program. Although most of our transportation comes through the water, super fast ferry, we felt it's an integral part not only for the resort but for the community as well to improve the airport in 2 phases basically.
What does this include? Phase 1, first of all, what does that include?
Well, phase 1 predominantly is to try to convert the airport into for night flights, so that airlines and different airplanes can land not only during the day, which is restricted to now, but also at all times at night, 24 hours a day.
So you're expanding the runway and including some lights?
Exactly. What we're doing is we're including runway lights and very sophisticated visual approach type light system for the airport right now. We're also doing a lot of degrubbing and cleaning around the airport, 500 feet off the runway strip, and putting a perimeter fence, and a couple other things we're doing to that as well.
That's phase 1. What is phase 2?
Well, phase two basically is an extension to the runway as well, because what we want to do is we want to be able to accommodate planes, not only the planes that are coming here now, but larger aircrafts, in order to be able to have destination trips, and be able to have also private charters and private jets being able to land here at the airport.
So how long will the runway be?
Well, in the first phase, actually, the runway will be approximately 6,000 linear feet, and in phase 2, the runway will be 8,000 linear feet.
So that will allow any jet the size of what to land in Bimini?
You can even have a 737 land in Bimini.
Right.
Direct flight. Instead of having to go to Miami and then, take a second type of vacation to the island, which is what typically was done in the past. Now you'll be able to fly from all over the country directly to the island.
Now, do you have any expansion plans for the terminal building itself, the current building, or any new building?
Absolutely, and if I can revert back to phase 1. Phase 1 was also improving the existing building, improving the facilities. So we basically revamped the building and putting new windows, doors, landscaping, irrigation, just improving the whole look and the arrival process of phase 1. That was included in that. Now for phase 2, what we're looking at is creating a state-of-the-art airport. So let's just say, it's going to be 4 or 5 times.
The building will rival what Nassau's terminal looks like nowadays.
It won't be quite that large, but I'll be honest with you, there will be the most sophisticated airport in the Bahamas besides Nassau.
What kind of amenities can we expect in that new terminal?
Well, we're going to have great amenities, which are really not typical to a family island, but we're going to have hangars for people that have some of the jets that come in, are $40 million planes. Do you want to be able to put them in a hangar? So we're creating hangar space. We're going to have an FBO, which is basically nothing more than a small little airport to give special services to those who have those private jets. And then we're going to have our larger international and domestic airport that's going to be able to service not only the domestic, the locals, but it's also going to be able to service international
Now I
flights.
understand that this expansion plan will extend into the community as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's just one component. And one of the ways that we view it, we view this project isn't isolated on its own. In order for it to thrive, and we want to be part of the community, and we want to integrate it into the community. So, you know, the airport was one of the milestones and the stepping stones in that direction. And the other attribute that we feel just really facilitate and help improve the community is an island-wide enhancement program that we're implementing. And basically what we're going to be doing there is, you know, working on the roads, pedestrian right-of-ways, lights. We're looking at how, you know, the additional traffic may affect, you know, the community. So we're looking at, you know, a Venice style, but in a Caribbean format, a Venice style type taxi service as well.
Okay. And so overall, this is going to impact Bimini in terms of job creation as well? Absolutely,
because part of the scope of that enhancement program is to identify locations where, you know, we need more conchs. You know, people want to come here and they want to have the conch salad, and they want to have the Bimini bread. And
you sound Bahamian.
Yeah, because I'm partly Bahamian almost.
Okay.
Joe. I'm a Cuban Conky Joe.
Right.
So, yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like you have some great plans for the expansion of the island of Bimini, involvement of the residents as well.
Absolutely, and like our partners, they fell in love with the island. Well, you know. My partners and myself, we fell in love with the island. You know, since I was 12 years old, I've been running around in the streets here in Bimini. So Bimini for me is very close to my heart, and I want to ensure that, you know, this is not something that's only going to happen for our project. This is something that's going to happen for the community as well.
Rafael Reyes, thank you for being a part of Bahamas at Sunrise this morning. You're the president of RAV Bahamas Limited,
yes.
And you're doing some expansion work at the airport.
Yes.
We look forward to seeing the results.
Thank you very much.
Well, before we go to a commercial break, we want you to meet some of the people who are responsible for the success of Resorts World Bimini. Those people who work behind the scenes, tireless hours, trying to make sure that it's a comfortable and a successful resort.
Hey, sweetie. I love it. My name is Zilpha Kemp. I've been on Bimini now 17 years. I got the man, a 17-year-old. I good to go. My job is a supervisor of transportation.
My name is David Rowe. My position is the dock master manager. I was born in Bimini, January 11, 1966, Poggy Bay.
My name is Renata Deems. I'm locally here, right here from Bimini. I'm a trainee dealer. So I'm training under John.
My name is John. I work in the casino as a dealer at Resorts World.
Guest services is my thing. I've been working in guest services for the past 12 years. It's my passion working with people and seeing that coming to Resorts World and it's based that it's on a small island, I get to show my character a lot more.
When I look at the local little kids, I see that my job is not to just develop Resorts World or any resort, but it's develop the Bahamas. I want some little kid to be the dock master in the next few years, and I want to be able to mentor someone, and that is my main focus. That's my job.
I am able to work freely. I am able to go on the tent. I've never worked in any department or in any hotel where I was able to go out on the water, get on the mic, do my thing. So yes, this is like, I'm there.
I'm a good fit because I know, like I said, I would get the job done and enjoy working with the people from the different islands and cooperating with them, and we work very wonderful together.
The most interesting thing about being a dealer is meeting the people, watching them win.
The best part of my job is to make the people smile when they're winning or losing their money.
September is very slow for us. And this is the most people I've seen here in almost 9 years. Last year we had weeks and weeks off, but now everybody's working full 5 days at the resort.
I've been out of job for a little while and now I'm working, making some money. The cash is good. It's better than being in Nassau.
Resort World just reached, but my favorite thing about them so far is that they came with class, they came with style, and they came with money. And to get anything working, you need money. The Bible says that money answers all things. So they have some kind of component to get it working well.
I'm grateful because, I mean, the opportunity is great because I didn't have to go anywhere to train. I trained right here in Bimini.
I enjoy living in Bimini. It's almost like West End, just like home.
Me personally, I love Biminites. Even though Biminites are Bahamian and we are all Bahamian, Biminites believe in Biminites first.
We are the only superstars, the people that are born and bred here.
I'll never be a Biminite. I'll be a weedy or a seaweed all the time.
Everybody here is like one family.
The atmosphere is beautiful. Everybody get along and get the job done.
Working with people and getting to meet new people, that's my thing. I love getting to meet the guests and hearing them ask questions, and most importantly for me, the reason why at the end of the day when they're leaving, I love to go at the end of the gate to say goodbye to them, just to hear how their day have been, just to encourage them to come back and to bring a few more friends, of course.
I'm an asset to the company, you know, by being one of the best dealers. Yeah.
Okay. In the future, I feel I want to be one of the pit managers, you know, so I expect to go far in this career.
They brought a new life, they bring like new breath now, so it's a new breath, and you need confidence. So they brought confidence. That's, I think, one of the main things, that we're confident that they can get us to the next level.
Resort World is a good place to work. It's, you know, one of the best places I've ever worked. The way they treat us and the paycheck.
Resorts World Bimini, letting you know, Patricia Smith is not going anywhere. Chicken sauce or boiled fish? Boiled fish.
Chicken sauce or boiled fish? No, chicken and light dough. It'll be better.
PLP or F&M?
Well, I am a PLP. I'm from West End.
Young lady, are you trying to get me in trouble?
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want first response on your side, call 321st or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First response can't prevent an accident from happening,
but it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
Everybody say you're the one for me. Come on, let's ride it till the fire. Hey, hey. I'm so happy just to see. I gotta hey. Oh, I gotta hey.
Still behind in your real property tax payments? No worries. There's still time to join the hundreds of residential and commercial property owners who have taken advantage of the government's tax amnesty. If you're more than 3 years behind, the Ministry of Finance will waive 100% of surcharge, provided you pay off your arrears before December 31st, 2013. So pay before December 31st and your surcharge will be forgiven. A real property tax Christmas gift for greater peace of mind in the new year. Contact the Ministry of Finance today.
Well, we've reached the midpoint of our show this morning, and an interesting first portion of the show. I learned much about this resort and the expansion plans.
And on the second segment, we're going to learn a little bit more with the trivia, and I get to meet a few Biminites.
And we're also going to find out some more about some Bimini businesses benefiting from this resort.
And then perhaps my favorite part of the show, the cooking segment. All of that is straight ahead.
But first, we must take a second look at news and weather with Altaviz Munnings and Godfrey Burnside.
This is ZNS News at the start of another weekend. Good Friday morning, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. It's so great to have you join us this morning. Here's what's making news. Labor Minister Shane Gibson acknowledged that the Christie administration is doing all it can to lower the national unemployment numbers. The Department of Statistics released the recent labor force survey this week, which illustrated the unemployment rate is now 16.2%. That's up 3.1% since the survey was last taken in November 2012. Now, Grand Bahama's unemployment rate also went up from 18 to 19.5%. The youth unemployment number also increased to 30.8%. In other news, Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell and the Cuban ambassador to the Bahamas, His Excellency Ernesto Guzman, signed a new agreement this week that will bring a tangible solution to repatriation challenges facing both governments. Now, the agreement comes on the heels of protests by a Miami-based Cuban advocacy group over allegations of abuse at the detention center on Carmichael Road, even though a probe into those allegations continue. Foreign Affairs Minister Mitchell announced the repatriation time for Cuban detainees will now be reduced to a number of weeks. And several outstanding Bahamian youth recently received their just rewards during the National Youth Leadership Awards ceremony at the National Performing Arts Center on Shirley Street. Representatives from numerous youth organizations assembled to watch our young people get the honors they deserve. That's ZNS News at Sunrise. It's time now for a check on the weather at Sunrise with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Alton. Morning game, Bahamas. Your second look at weather. Sunrise, the tropics. We do have the remnants of that tropical storm Lorenzo, now a remnant low pressure area in the far eastern Atlantic, moving towards the east. Little of that at this time. Elsewhere, tropical storm formation are expected during the next 3 to 5 days. In your marine forecast, those winds today northeast at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over the northwest Bahamas. So we have a caution posted over northwest Bahamas. Northeasterly at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet over the central islands. Variable at 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet over the southeast Bahamas. On Saturday, those winds continue northeasterly at 15-25 knots, seas 5 to 8 feet over northwest Bahamas. So we have an advisory posted on Saturday over the northwest Bahamas. Easterly at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet over the central and southeastern islands. On Sunday, those winds drop off 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet over the northwest Bahamas. Northeast to east at 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Yeah, tides. Just had a low tide. That happened at 6:33 this morning. Next high will be at 1:55 this afternoon. Low again this evening at 7:28. Sunset will be at 6:34 this evening. Rises tomorrow at 7:14. UV index 8. Your water temperature 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And your moon phase is now moving towards the last quarter. And your Friday weather look. We have lots of sunshine on the weekend. Some breezy conditions. So you be careful on the sea. And we asking all persons at that front for retreat on Sunday night, Monday into the northwest and central Bahamas, causing increasing cloudy showers and thunderstorms over the northwest and central Bahamas on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So for the most part, those temperatures daytime will be in the mid to upper 80s, at nighttime in the mid 70s. That puts a wrap on your final look at weather Sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you guys.
So we've already learned of some of the wonderful things that Resorts World Bimini is doing here on the island. But to tell you the truth, the benefits go far beyond the property. There are actually also some wonderful things happening for local business people as a result of the presence of Resorts World Bimini.
Bimini used to close down for 6 months. In other words, the hotels used to be battened up with storm shutters. And you could stand in the middle of the road, look right, look left, and see no one. And in fact, the old saying was that you could shoot a cannon in the street and not hit nobody. That's how dead it used to be. Only thing you could have was seagulls crying, that was it.
It was all right on weekends. Weekends and during the summer months, it was good then. But during like now, it's much better now since Superfast started coming to Bimini.
The way I see it can grow tremendously because I have a lot of stuff that I'm bringing on stream. I'll soon start doing parasailing as of next year. And I had a whole jet ski tour that I can take everybody around the whole island and that's what I'm focusing on right now. But there's a lot of stuff to come for as water sports. The door's open to do whatever, because as long as you have the clientele, you can actually find something to do, and that's what the resort is doing.
Day trippers are having a few hours staying in the island, and they just come running and learn what the island is. But now that they get to stay and there's more room for them to stay, that's going to be fantastic.
We, in fact, had to, with so much business, we've discontinued with the rooms for rent and now just running it strictly as a museum. In fact, also, I had to add additional staff. I have 2 persons working now, 2 tour guides, along with myself. So that's how much business has increased.
It's spread all over. Then go all the way down to the Captain Bob's and all of them. And even the straw market, they park at the straw market. So everybody gets something out of it.
I feel very good about Resort World, and it's going to get better as time goes on.
The island is somewhat used to repeat visitors, so the new time visitors is something that's everybody need to get in tune with now, and I feel that everybody is willing to do it. The door is open for them to do it, but the problem with really it is that because it's new, it allows everything to take time. The boat is new, everything is new the way that they're dealing with it, so everything is just a process. So I feel that they're going to take charge of it, I guarantee you that.
And I've seen a lot of people that were living off Bimini, a lot of Biminites that were living in Nassau, Florida, Freeport, have returned home to Bimini and got jobs since the casino opening. And you know, that's a great thing. You know, we see reverse migration.
I'm from Bimini, but I spent a lot of time in Nassau as a young boy, and then I came back after the whole resort.
More people coming into Bimini right now, more than ever.
It's getting very consistent, you know. That's what we see, a very consistent future.
Like 100% better since they start coming, because you have people every day instead of like weekends and stuff like that.
I'm looking for big and better business for the future. Not only right here, but for the whole Bimini Island.
We're expecting to be able to hire a lot more people, have more boats, have more equipment coming through, and then having more jobs created, of course, for Biminites and for Bahamians.
It's astonishing, you know, and the thing about it is like there's no turning back.
As long as they bring the people that they're doing now and continue to do so, definitely there would be work throughout the whole island. I feel it would be able to benefit from it.
So it's clear to see that Resorts World Bimini is having a very positive impact on local businesses here on the island. And to tell you the truth, it's only just the beginning. There were several others that we couldn't get into the piece. And I think Biminites would be smart to take advantage of all of the opportunities that are coming their way. We're being joined now by a native Biminite, Antoinette Stewart, who is the coordinator of the Ministry of Tourism. And she's going to help us learn a little bit more about this island through some really interesting trivia questions she's put together. Welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. All right, so we're going to throw it to Deandra now, who has found some newfound friends in the audience, and we're going to test them to see just how much they really know about the island of Bimini. Deandra?
Thank you, Michelle. It's about time we give our guests something more than a suntan to walk away with today. So, ma'am, you're lucky number 1. I'm fine, thank you. So, question number 1. William Yamabahama Butler won his first fight in what month and year in Miami, Florida? January 1955, December 1954, or November 1953?
I will go with the second one.
December 1954? I'm sorry, ma'am, that's not the correct one, but you still get a wonderful care package from Resort World Bimini. And Antoinette's going to help explain the answer. The answer actually is November 1953.
So, Yamabama was like a legend here in Bimini, and tell us more about that historic fight.
That's correct. On November 17th, 1953, Bimini-born boxer Yamabahama won his first professional fight at Miami, Florida. In a career total of 102 fights, Yamabahama won 85 fights, 29 by knockout, 12 lost, and 3 draws before he retired from boxing in August 1967.
Wow. You know, I got the chance to meet Yama Bahama several years ago before his passing, and he was quite the character. All right, let's see what we have next, Deandra.
Great. Question number 2, ma'am. Completed in 1920, how many rooms comprised the Bimini Bay Rod and Gun Club? 50 rooms, 100 rooms, or 200 rooms?
Well, I think I'll go with the 50. I'm not too sure.
I hear mumbling behind you. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The answer is 100, so you guys were correct, but you still get a wonderful care package.
Thank you very much.
Antoinette?
The Bimini Bay Rod and Gun Club was the first place to provide accommodations for visitors on the island. Built out of concrete, stucco, and wood, the club was a large 3-story structure with 100 rooms overlooking Bimini Bay, and it's not this bay, it's the one down the south. The club was self-sufficient with its own ice-making machine, rainwater storage facility, telephone station, and electric generating plant. We also want you to know that there was a dining room with a beautiful sunken floor for dancing and a well-equipped casino.
So they really paved the way for us here at Resorts World Bimini.
That's correct.
All right, good to know. Deandra?
So I have one more question for you. The administrative complex is presently housed in what former world-renowned facility? Is it the Bimini Research Lab, the Lerner Marine Lab, or the Bimini Marine Lab?
Lerner Marine Lab.
Yay! Say it again, sir.
The Lerner Marine Lab.
Yes, and he's correct. I have something very, very delicious for you. A voucher to Hemingway's. You can go on and get your food this evening. Here you go. You're welcome.
All right, so we finally got one right answer. Tell us a little bit more about that lab.
Yes, in 1948, through the efforts and generosity of Mr. Michael Lerner, the Lerner Marine Laboratory was officially opened at Bimini by His Excellency Sir William Murphy, who was the Governor General at that time. Mr. Lerner this was Mr. Lerner's way, of repaying the sea for a lifetime of pleasure and satisfaction. In 1972, scientists from many parts of the world were astounded when the Lerner Marine Laboratory closed down permanently.
Oh, fascinating. All right, I think we have one more question, do we?
We have 2 more quick questions.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And can you stand for me, please? Bimini's population in the 2010 census was 1,988. What was the population in 1835? Was it 14? Was it 86 or was it 25?
I'll say 86.
Actually, it was 14. Only 14 people lived in Bimini in 1835.
I expect me to know that.
Talk about not a population explosion. 14 folks, huh?
Correct. In 1835, the total population of Bimini was 14 individuals, members of 5 families engaged in salvaging goods from shipwrecks for a living. In those days, vessels of all sizes and descriptions were frequently wrecked on the shallow western ridge of the Great Bahama Bank and the Great Isaac Rock to the north of Bimini.
Are any of the descendants of those families still here in Bimini?
By all means.
And who are they, by the way?
Mostly the Saunders family.
All right. So we learned a little bit about how the Saunders got here. All right.
We have one of the residents right here also.
Yeah.
He said his family also.
All right. Last question.
Commissioner O.J. McDonald noted in a report in 1907 that there is still room for improvement in the extent of cultivation and also more care exercised in the cutting of the leaf before maturity. To which industry was he referring to? Is this the sisal farming, tobacco farming, or citrus farming?
It's sisal. Sisal farming.
Yes, sir, and you won our grand prize, which is 2 round-trip tickets on the cruise. So I hope you're excited about that.
I'm very. I'll swim over there.
Sisal farming was a big industry, huh?
Yes, the sisal industry in the Bimini started in 1845 when the early settlers began to cultivate it as a cash crop. The inhabitants, however, were more attracted to life upon the water of the sea, so sisal farming got off to a very slow start in Bimini. So too, the majority of the inhabitants of Bimini did not have access to land in order to cultivate the crop.
Fascinating. Well, Antoinette, we'd like to thank you and all of the members of the audience who participated in our trivia today. And I really learned a lot about the island of Bimini. Thank you so much for joining us on Bahamas at Sunrise.
It's a pleasure.
All right, so when we come back, Deandra and I are going to get our hands dirty and our bellies full. I like that part of it, as we have a cooking segment next here on Bahamas at Sunrise. Stay with us.
Meet Neville and Carl. They both bought the same car on the same day. Neville is enjoying his new car, but Carl just can't relax. What's the difference? Neville has comprehensive car insurance from NUA, so no matter what happens, he knows he's covered. Isn't it nice to know NUA's got your back?
Carl, come to bed, please.
NUA, the hands-on insurance agency.
The beauty of Bimini is seen all around.
The beauty of Bimini turns people into friends.
And friends into family.
It's soothing. It's healing.
The beauty of Bimini keeps our guests coming back.
It's in the faces of our people.
It's the people.
The people.
The beauty of Bimini is people to people.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise, and this is perhaps a favorite part of the program for me because we get to eat, and yes, I do love to eat. We're joined by our executive chef here at the resort, Jimmy Sacartos, correct?
Correct.
I got it. And our sous chef, Corey Wood, as well as the lovely Deandra Bannister, and she and I are going to try our hand, obviously being led by our chefs, at preparing something very special today. What are we preparing today?
Today we're going to have a sauteed seafood with a little bit of orange juice, glazed orange juice, ginger and pineapple, and a lobster cream.
Sounds divine. So what do we do first?
First we're going to get our pan hot.
Okay.
Start with a little bit of butter.
That's here?
Yep.
And how much butter are we putting in this?
Just one little spoon.
1 scoop.
Just to start it.
All righty.
A little bit of oil.
And that's an olive oil? What kind of oil do you use?
It's olive oil.
Okay.
Olive oil. And then we're going to add our seafood. So a little bit of lobster. A little bit of shrimp.
Mm-hmm. And how long are we cooking the seafood for? Because I know you shouldn't overcook it, correct?
Pretty quick.
Okay. Like what do you call pretty quick?
A couple of minutes.
Okay.
A couple of minutes. You don't want to cook it too long because it's going to overcook. It's going to be rubbery. So.
Right.
Yeah. And a little bit of conch. And we're going to add some, we'll bring that to saute. And then we're going to add some ginger and pineapple.
That's the pineapple.
Maybe a little more pineapple.
Can I just drop it in or?
Yeah, drop it in. Drop it in. Just drop it in.
That's enough?
Yeah, go for it.
The whole thing?
That's it.
All right. I love me some pineapple.
Okay.
Okay.
And then touch of goat pepper.
Oh, this is a Bahamian recipe.
It's a Bahamian thing, you know. So
you gotta have your pepper in there. Is that enough? That's not enough. We Bahamians eating this now. We
as that's cooking
pepper.
a little bit, I'm gonna.
A little bit more? No?
That's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah,
I trust you.
that's a little too much.
I trust you.
You can put a little more orange juice in the thing. A little more orange juice. And as that's cooking, I'm gonna start a drink. It's a little hot today, so I'm gonna put a drink together. It's a Bimini Breeze. So a little bit of ice. A little bit of simple syrup. A little bit of lime juice.
Here, we're adding salt and pepper. Okay. And you just keep stirring while
just keep going while I'm making the drink. A little bit of half and half. And we're going to use some blue curacao.
Now, what is this you're adding over here?
This is a lobster bisque.
Lobster bisque. Yeah. Okay. All right. This looks like this is going to be divine.
And on this, I'm adding some Nassau Royale and a little bit of Hennessy.
Now, the temperature on the fire here, is that medium? Is it low, high? What are we doing here?
It's pretty high.
It's pretty hot,
yeah.
So you want to get it hot.
You want to get it hot.
All right. And we're adding some green onions.
Looks really good already.
Tarragon. Okay. Stirring it now.
It's almost ready to go.
And so how long, Jimmy, is this going to cook?
We're ready.
It's ready to go.
It's ready to
so
go.
this is great for a quick meal. If you don't have a lot of time, just got in from soccer
Well,
or
the thing
whatever.
with the lobster bisque takes a little bit of time.
Okay, so you should have the
It's
pre-prepared.
It's pre-prepared.
And then this is a quick meal, throw
Quick
together,
meal.
and the family will think you slaved for hours.
Slaved for hours,
Excellent. Well,
exactly.
let's test this out.
Okay. So
Now, I just love how you guys make everything look so pretty on the plate.
a lot of practice. And that's it.
All right. So, Deandra, you going to try it first?
Of course I will.
Just a little bit of tarragon, maybe a little more. Let's see.
Okay.
Thank you. We have a.
I guess we can use this one.
Thank you.
I'm going to let her go first because once I take it over, that's going to be the end of it. You see why she's so tiny? She takes this little bitty. Girl, eat this thing like you're serious.
It was really good.
Or give me the plate. Let me do it. Good? Fabulous. All right. Well, we have a treat for our audience. Everybody in our audience is going to get a taste of this specialty. And what is this called?
It's sauteed seafood with pineapple, ginger, and lobster cream.
Sauteed seafood with pineapple, ginger, and lobster bisque. The Bimini specialty. All right. Thank you so much, guys. We're going to be right back with the conclusion of our show here at Bahamas at Sunrise. Stay with us.
Everybody say you're the one for me. Come on, let's ride it till the fire. Hey, hey. I'm so happy just to see. I gotta hey. Oh, I gotta hey.
When you need to fix up your garden, you need Fox Hill Nursery. Orchid supplies, in and outdoor plants, terracotta pots, landscaping plants, fertilizers, soil mixes, gardening tools, they've got it at Fox Hill Nursery. When you need to adorn your garden with beautiful plants and flowers, you guessed it, Fox Hill Nursery, Bernard Road. Call 324-1302 or 324-6147. Remember, at Fox Hill Nursery, we take care of your whole garden.
Welcome back. Thank you, Stevie S. and the Primetime Band. I'm here with Dana, the president of Resorts World Bimini, and Mr. Oscar Monroe, island administrator. And Mr. Dana, you have something for Mr. Oscar Monroe.
Yes, Mr. Monroe, on behalf of Resorts World Bimini, it is my honor and privilege to donate these 5 computers to the community center and the good people of Bimini. And we look forward to working further with the people of Bimini on this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. On behalf of the population of Bimini, we are grateful that you would have given us this gift that I'm certain will go a long way in helping with the education of our students and our young people and the entire population of Bimini. Once again, thank you.
Well, that does it for this edition of Bahamas at Sunrise. We call it Bimini at Sunrise this morning. I had fun, Michelle. I had fun, Deandra.
So did I. It was fabulous. And but what can I say? Welcome to Bimini, and all of you who have not been here yet, what are you waiting for? Come on down to Resorts World Bimini and check us out.
I think it's unfair, though. You guys had all the food. You sent me off, and then you call me back after the food is gone. That's not just to look at what is left. That's not fair.
You can enjoy the drink at the end.
That's not fair. Okay. We'll enjoy the drink. That's good. Well, to that, we'll drink to Bimini.
To Bimini.
So from Resorts World Bimini, for the entire Counselors Limited production team, this is Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm Carlton Smith.
I'm Michelle Malcolm.
Deandra Bannister.
So long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Transition.
May sunshine and happiness surround you when you far from home. Hey, Tommy. May you grow to be proud, dignified, and true. Come on. Do unto others as you would have done to you. Be courageous and be brave. And in my heart you will always stay. Forever young. Forever young. Forever young. Forever young. Now may good fortune be with you. May your guiding light be strong. Build a stairway to heaven with a prince or a bear.